for anyone who lives in the South or is just not used to snow. We got kind of unusual situation going on here today because we got like 3 inches of snow and then we got drift, so some of it is higher than others. And what happened was last night we got like sleet and freezing rain because it warmed up to about 25 to 30 degrees last night and this morning, and then now there's basically a layer of ice on top of the snow, so that makes it really difficult. I'll tell you, it's actually a lot warmer than it was earlier. The driveway's still pretty slick, but now it's more mush than it is anything. It's not the slickest driveway I've ever walked on, but I mean, I'm still glad I got this stick. So now that I'm a little farther out in the snow, I'm gonna kind of show you what it's like. See, like that's basically like the pile of ice on the tip of the snow. It's not as bad as it was this morning, but like it still makes it hard to walk on. So it looks like somebody already was on this trail. I'm heading over that way to the little hut I built back about 10 years ago. But you can somewhat hear the rain and the ice melting off these trees because they were previously filled with snow. And like right there, you can see little water pellets on the tips of the branches. And all that was ice about a day ago. So back behind me is an oil pump. This actually all used to be woods when we first moved here, and I built this hut, and there was a path right where that oil pump was. I made one all the way high growth area, but it's definitely thicker than it is now, and there's little trees growing in the woods. So I had a lot of fun back here building the hut, and they've had this pump here for about 6 years now. I was kind of sad when they built it because it took away the isolation of the hut, and but I mean, it was nice because I could now drive back here, but I kind of like the hut being isolated. So straight ahead here is the hut I built. Obviously when I built it, it wasn't leaning like it is now. I just didn't use treated lumber. I just used trees that were straight enough to use as posts. But I'm gonna go back there now. I'm trying to make my way through this high grass here. Hopefully this ice doesn't break. It's been at least a year since I've been back here. It was leaning bad. I don't know if it's this bad, but I know a few people came back since I've been back here. But I can tell you I wouldn't want to climb that ladder anymore. That ladder used to be really safe to climb. I think I am going to be able to walk on this without it breaking. Now you got to watch out for these. Those are called multiflora rose bushes, and they're actually really sharp. So I'm going to be careful of hitting that. We're falling on that. See, here it is. I've signed my name on the side of the wall each time I slept back here. It actually kind of makes me dizzy looking at it because it's leaning so far. As you can still see my names up here. This was the first time I slept in here. I'll show you you can still barely see it. It was December 19th, 2008. And then the last time was September 13th, 2014. But it's just like pretty crappy now in here. And I still have some wood. What I used to do is that's an old pedestal for horses. I would put that out here when it was too wet or snowy to have like a fire on the ground. I could have a dry fire, and there was all my kindling and wood, and then sometimes a lot of my friends slept back here too. We would have a fire and then cut like wood back here. So here's this side. Put a little star on it when I built it after it was done. And the way I built it was somebody donated a deck. Well, they tore down their deck. And they had a bunch of wood. And my dad didn't want it. And like, hey, you can have all this wood. So I decided to build this. I mean, definitely I had a lot of good times. I wish back 10 years ago I would have been doing videos, because I slept back here so much, and those have been fun videos to make. But I'm glad I'm doing them now, because I'm sure this thing's gonna fall over eventually, and at least I can get some shots and tell stories when I come back here. And there's a road you can't see, but it's filled with logs that make it easily drive over the swamp with a four-wheeler. It's kind of like these boards are together, but like they're like 8-foot logs, and they're just stacked right next to each other, so they make it easily to drive the four-wheeler over the swamp when it's flooded. And in the summer, it's not flooded at all, like when it was dry in the summer. So here's the front end. I got this window. When I first moved here, they built an addition prior to us moving here, and they left these windows out in the woods. So that's where I got the window from. You can hardly see through it anymore. It's filled with mildew. But here's a ladder. And like I said, these are all bolted on. This was easy to climb. And you can tell when this thaws, I guarantee you that thing's gonna fall, because it's not hitting any one of those boards. Like, that's how they were held on, by these little boards here. And now this wood is basically punked out. So it's scary walking on ice when you don't know how thick it is, or how deep the water is, and also you don't know how thick it is. But it's the easiest way out, because I don't want to go through all that brush again and walk all the way around. So I'm just gonna come this way. Plus I wanted to get a shot back here to show how much it's leaning, because I know the side doesn't really do complete justice. But I mean, I know in the next few years something's gonna break and it's gonna fall. Half of it will probably fall in this swamp here. And the swamp was definitely made worse. It became more flooded when they built this up for the road, so the oil crew could come back. Because it didn't used to be this deep, because some of this might be like a foot deep, but I mean, I'm not 100% sure how deep it is, but I know I wouldn't want to break through this ice right here. I've heard a few cracks, but I don't think I will, because I'm almost off. So there it is again. The kind of day it is today kind of reminds me of this movie. I believe Robin Williams was in it, but I just know there's some guy, I think it was Robin Williams, he was yellow marine jacket in Alaska, somewhere on the coast, like SeaWord or like Nome or something. And he was like running around, running from somebody, and it was really foggy, and it was like kind of rainy. But I know like today would be like exactly like the day it was. I mean, there were no trees around or anything, but it was really foggy, that's all I remember. So here's the back end of my wood pile. I only got around 15 to 20 cords left, which I've sold 48 so far this year. And back here I had this entire shelter filled, and then I had like 2 rows along that little house there. It's a mouse. There it goes. I know I injured it because I hit it with my stick, but it goes all the way to the burn pile. I thought at first it was just melting of the snow, but actually you can see the trail right here, the mouse, because they obviously can't walk in the snow, so they just dig tunnels, and then it goes all the way over here where they can get warm and dry again, and then they have probably another home under there and a few others in the woods. But I kind of ruined its trail, and I'm sure there's more than one though. I don't know where it went though. But they go all through here. Kind of looking for it. Oh well. Alright, well, I finally made it back. I'm gonna go in and get my hands warm.